Start na kaya ako. Sabihin niyo pag okay na kayo, ha?
Baka nakain sila.
Kaya nga eh, baka nakain pa.
Sige, mag-start ka na kayo.
Start na ako, ha?
Ay, hindi, yung
start ka na. Ako nga nakain eh.
Sige, start na
Ilan na
ako,
ba tayo? Sama mo na lang yung yung isa Mary.
Wala umalis si Brent eh.
Sama ko yung isa sa akin.
Sige, sama mo.
Wait lang. Sige na. Mag-ano ka na lang. Papasok ko na lang.
Okay,
Mag-record ka na.
Nag-start na eh. Okay, wait lang. Okay, everyone. 1, 2. Good day, everyone. My name is J.K. Fernandez, and welcome to 21st Century Literature, and I am your teacher for today. And first, before we go to our discussion, we will first have a prayer. Yes. So let us bow our heads and feel the presence of the Lord. And I will guide you through the prayer, okay? And Lord, Father God, Lord in heaven, Lord, thank you, Lord, for this day, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for everything, Lord, that you give to us. Thank you, Lord, for the wisdom and the knowledge that you give to us, Lord. Guide us, Lord, to this learning journey and guide my student as well. Keep us all safe, Lord, and we raise this, Lord, in the name of mighty Jesus. Amen. So again, how are you doing? Are you all great?
I'm feeling
Good po.
Good. Now, I hope you feel all blessed, and we will be discussing our classroom rules. The first rule is turn off your microphone when you are not speaking, because unnecessary noises can affect our learning. And next is be on time and do not be late. We have a 10-minute grace period before sending the link, so I will wait for you. And if you are coming late, so please state that if your reasons as well. And next is be friendly, and respect each other is always needed. And next to our rule is turn on your camera and smile. So if you don't have any problem in your internet connection, please turn on your camera and have that show that a great big smile of yours. And next is no eating during the class discussion. Oh yes, thank you, Merrick, for turning on your camera, and we see your beautiful face. And we all set. Let's now go to our journey. And before we start, we have a recap. So our recap activity is you will identify which of the following pictures represent a pre-colonial period or the period of literature. So the first is which of the following pictures represents pre-colonial period? Is it the first picture with the natives, Filipino natives, or with another one that was more modernized with a jeepney?
Ma'am, what again is the question po?
Which of the following pictures represents pre-colonial period? Is it the first, the Filipino tribes, or the one with the jeepney?
the first picture po.
Yes, very good, Merrick. The first picture represents the pre-colonial period because, as you can see in the pre-colonial period, we are used to express our tradition and culture as well, and the story, and we pass the stories, our culture, via oral or orally passing it. Next is, which of the following pictures represents the Spanish period in the Philippines? Is it Jose Rizal, the first picture, or American flag in the next picture? Oh yes, Miss Jeline, you are recognized.
It's Dr. Jose Rizal po.
Yes, very good. This is the picture of Dr. Jose Rizal because Dr. Jose Rizal is famous that time. He actually fight alongside with us with his pen. And the last is, which of the following pictures represents Japanese period? Is it the first? Oh, I'm sorry. Is it the first one picture? Is it the first picture? Ay, makulit siya. Yeah. Is it the first picture or the second picture, Japanese period? Okay, Kim, you are recognized.
Thank you po. I think the picture that represents the Japanese period is the second picture that shows the waves of the sea.
Yes, very good. And in Japanese period, we actually teaches us that the nature is relevant by writing a poem, a haiku poem, or a kanaga poem. The Japanese period or the Japanese occupation shows us that in the nature, we can give a representation of it in the literature. So we have our recap of 3 different periods. Now let's go to our pretest. They're just like to give you a little hint of what are we about to discuss. So now let's proceed. Let's go. Okay, for our pretest, the first item is refers to literary devices. Just if you want to answer, and kindly raise your hand again and choose the correct answer. So number 1, it refers to literary devices or device that initiate sounds of emphasis. Okay, Miss Jeline, you are recognized.
Is it onomatopoeia, ma'am?
Yes, correct. It is onomatopoeia, and the answer is letter D. Okay, very good. And the next is, it is one characteristic of non-fiction. Is it A, plot, B, characters, C, setting, or D, facts? Okay, Miss Merrick, you are recognized.
I'm thankful, ma'am. It's D po.
D. Yes. Let's see. Oh, very good. That is the letter D, the facts. So what is it? Why is it facts? We will know if it is true or in the following discussion. Okay, number 3, how does the literary nonfiction differs from fiction? Is it A, fiction has real life story components? B, fiction does not have all story elements? C, the story elements are based on real life, not imaginary? Or letter D, literary nonfiction has characters and plot but no setting? Okay, we have many hands here. Okay, let me call on Julian to answer. What's your answer? Yes, Julian, you are recognized.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I am talking, but I didn't notice that I am muted.
That is just
I'm sorry, ma'am.
fine.
But my answer is letter C. The story elements are based on real life, not imaginary.
Okay, letter C, let's see if it's correct. Yes, letter C is the answer to number 3. Oh, let's proceed to the next question. If you are experiencing a piece of fiction that is facing or being performed on stage, joining monologues and dialogues by characters with stage directions, then what kind of fiction are you experiencing? Is it A, drama, B, poetry, C, fiction, or D, non-fiction? What is it? Okay, you are recognized, Miss Kim.
Is it A, drama?
Drama, let's see if it is. Yes, that is correct. Very good. It's drama. Next, the last. It is a story that tells about women. their lives, trials, tribulations, and success? Is it A, blog, B, chick lit, C, flash fiction, or D, hyper poetry? Okay, Miss Haro, Miss Merrick, you are recognized. What's your
I think,
answer?
ma'am, it's B po.
B. Let's see if it's letter B. That is correct. It is letter B. So you are all now pumped up to our discussion, and all of your answers are connected to our discussion. But first, let me all pump it up you more by an activity of guess the gibberish. Are you familiar of the guess the gibberish game?
Yes po, ma'am. I've played that before in one of our discussions. Yeah, in the same semester. Yeah, in my what they call that? In my English and writing class.
I'm glad that you are familiar with it, and I think that all of you are familiar. So I feel like yes, ma'am. So guess the gibberish game is we are form different names to make a whole statement or a new word to it. So let's now proceed to our game. So the first word is on a math happy at. So what do you think is it? Okay, we have a very fast hands here. So Miss Jillian,
Is it onomatopoeia, ma'am?
yes, it's onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. You're correct. Very good. I am so pump it up right now. So next is pottery. What is it? Okay, we have fast hands here also. Miss Kim, what is it?
Poetry.
Poetry. Let's try. It's poetry. Very good. That's a nice answer. Next is traditional. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? What do you think is it? Traditional. Okay, we have a fast hand again here. Is it okay, Miss Jillian? You are recognized.
Mama, I am not sure about my answer, but is it traditional?
Traditional. Let's see if it is correct. And yes, it's correct. Traditional is correct. Last is lit or rupture. What is it? Yes, Miss Harrow.
I'm not sure po, ma'am, but is it literature po?
Yes, very good. It is literature. These vocabulary words are the words that you will encounter in our discussion in traditional and new literature and the elements. And it consists of poetry and prose. But before that, let me give you what will you learn in this lesson. So the first is identify the figures of speech and other literary techniques and devices in the text. Next is understand literary meanings in context and the use of critical reading strategies. And last is produce a creative representation of a literary text by applying multimedia skills. So you will use your multimedia skills in here for the lesson. So if it excites you, let's go to our journey and bon voyage. And our topic now is traditional literature, poetry, and prose. Okay. What is poetry? Kindly read this. Somebody can read the text in the presentation. Okay, Miss Kim, you are recognized.
Poetry is one of the earliest genres of literature. It was either recited or sung back to prehistoric times to call for help from a deity, narrate the hero's life and victories, tell about the love story of their rulers, or describe someone who inspires them.
Actually, in the pre-colonial period, our ancestors uses poetry and transcribe it into a song because poetry is more um, fitted to be sang because it repeats words and also it has this kind of meter or the beat, and we will find out what is it. So just a little bit trivia about that. We have here in the world the oldest example of a poem in the earliest time, which is Kesh Temple Hymn. So anyone could read it. Okay, Miss Jeline, you are recognized. Kindly read the Kesh Temple Hymn.
Example of a poem in the earliest time, Kesh Temple Hymn, exists in written versions dating to around 2500 BC, an ancient ode to the Kesh Temple and the deities that inhabited it, while the latter is a piece of wisdom literature that takes the forms of sagely advice supposedly handed down from the Sumerian king Shurupak to his son Shu Sudra. One of the Shurupak's proverbs warns the boy not to pass judgment when you drink beer. Another counsels that a loving heart maintains a family. A hateful heart destroys a family.
Okay, thank you, Jeline, for reading the presentation. Now, did you know that Cash Temple Hymn is consists of many words of wisdom? It is more on a poetic form. There are a lot of story. First is their about their ancient gods, the how they worship their gods, and next is how you took care of your family. Actually, the famous quote here, a loving heart maintains a family, a hateful heart destroys a family, is the oldest quotation that they use in the poem in Cash Temple Hymn. If we have the oldest in the whole wide world, we have here in the Philippines the oldest poem in the Philippines. So the Bondok Mountain province have the Bagbagto. It was usually sang for harvest and honor Batala. Here in Bagbagto, I don't have the translation in English because it doesn't have any translation, but you will notice some words that are repeated. But let me actually play the song of Bagbagto for you to hear it. It's actually a good poem. Okay, as you notice, there are several words that was repeated because it is actually a poem before and transcribed into a song that thanks the deities or our Bathala in our pre-colonial period for the fruitful harvest of the Bontoc Mountain province. So now let's proceed to the elements of the poetry. So the first elements of the poetry is rhyme. Kindly read. Okay, Miss Haro, kindly read.
Okay, for number one, for the first element of poetry is rhyme. It is the identical rhyme if the last words or sound match each other. So, do I have to read all of the words po, mama? Okay po,
Yes,
ma'am.
please.
For the alliteration, the examples are followed, flat, front, and brother, back. And for the assonance, the example is big, sleeper, pick, slimy.
Okay, as you can, thank you, Merrick. As you can see in the presentation, we have here the rhyme. It is the identical rhyme, or it is the sound of the first or last words or some identical words inside a poem. So the first one is alliteration. It's followed, flat, front. The first three words have F sound. So followed, flat, and front. And the two words bother and the back. So they have B sound. And next is assonance. We have big, sleeper, picked, and slimy. They all have I sound in their middle. So can you give your own short example of alliteration? Yes, Miss Kim, you are recognized.
I think big black bricks.
Bricks, very good. They all have B sound. So they are all alliteration. So very good, thank you. And next is for the elements is meter. So kindly read. Is someone available for someone to read? May I call on, okay, Miss Kim. Thank you for your volunteering.
Meter is also called the rhythm in poetry. It is the pattern of beats or foot, stressed and unstressed syllables in a line. It is also called foot.
Okay, thank you. For the meter, it is called a rhythm in the poetry. It is called the beat. If the music have the beat or the background of the beat, we have in here in poetry the meter. So it is actually the sound of how you will deliver a poem. So we have here the first category or the example of meter is I and B. So it is pattern is unstressed, stress. So we articulate and trochee. Here in IMB, it is used as unstressed and stress pattern. So we use it in reading a poem. Like if you will read the today word and we live word, the unstressed is today and the stress is we live. So we have the pattern. Next is trochee. Its pattern is stressed and unstressed. So it is opposite of the IMB. So the trochee should sound like captain. It's gone. Hold it. It is just like that. So the next one is elements of poetry meter. Oh, I am the one who will read it now. So we have here anapes and dactyl. So anapes has a pattern of unstressed, unstressed, stressed. So it is three patterns. So if we read these phrases, it will be like this. If I cry, if I live, if I cry, if I live, it will be sound like that. So the next is dactyl. We have a pattern of stress and stress and stress. So we have here a distressed one is carnage, unstressed is horrible is unstressed again, and heritage is stress. So carnage is horrible. Heritage, it will be like sound like that. And next is another element of poetry is imagery and symbolism. So kindly, someone can read this. Poetry must also employ up to the colon. Okay, Miss Haro, you are recognized.
Poetry must also employ figurative language to creative express emotions, feelings, and ideas. And here are some commonly used literary devices in poetry.
Okay, thank you, Miss Haro, for reading it. So, you encounter these words, these figurative languages or figurative devices in your junior high school, and I will just introduce this as a, a review to you. So, the first one is a metaphor. Metaphor is a direct comparison of two unlike things. We have here an example. He is a strong lion. So, there are two subjects here, the he, a person, and a lion. So they are unlike things because they are not both animal or nor both human. So he is a strong lion. We are comparing two unlike things. So next is simile. Simile is two unlike things compared to each other using like or as. In simile, we are comparing with a word like or as. We're adding the word like or as. And for example, he is a strong like a lion. So you can see it is have a word like. So it is considered as a simile. So next is onomatopoeia, words that initiate a sound. We have here an example, the gushing of wind and gnashing of teeth. Onomatopoeia is sounds that transcribes into words. So we have here the gushing of wind. What is the sound of gushing of the wind? It is gush, 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 like that. So if we transcribe it into the word, it will be like gushing of the wind. And next is gnashing of teeth. Gnashing of teeth is when you bite into something or while you eat. So it will be gnash, 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 gnash. It will be like that. So if you transcribe it into word, it will be gnashing of teeth. So next is alliteration. In alliteration, again, we have the repetition of the same initial sound of the words. Like what I said, we have the B sound in our example. We have be brave, be boundless, beauty is a bouquet of blue baby's breath. So it always starts with the letter B. B. So next is assonance. The assonance, we have here the resemblance of a sound in words or syllable. So they are all sounded like a lot. So who knows how hollow snore? So as you can see in our example, the letter O is always in the middle of the word. But in the word who, it is actually sounded like the letter O is in the middle of the word who. That is why it is considered an assonance. So who knows how hollows snore? So next is a repetition. Repetition is a word, a phrase, or a sentence repeated to emphasize its importance in the entire text. So we emphasize something. For example, not yet, Rizal, not yet, mother. It will be like that. You are emphasizing something. Or you can repeat a word that is, oh no, oh no, oh no, or oh yes. You can you will see that into some free verse poems wherein the author or the writer is so much into the words and they repeat and emphasize our words like not yet or oh no or oh, like that, or what a beautiful day. It will be like that. So the next is synecdoche. A part is made to represent the whole or vice versa. So here we have an example of 100 heads of cattle, both at a good price. So 100 heads of cattle. It is not represented as a whole body of cattle. No, it is just 100 heads of cattle because head is more on what we see, what we first see to a cattle or a cow. So it represents something of the whole of vice versa or the vice versa. And next is personification, giving human attributes to an object or an animal. Okay, the wind spoke of hope and redemption. Is the wind speaking? Is the wind speaking to you?
No po.
No, yeah. No, that is why it is personificate the wind spoke of hope and redemption. It is just like you are feeling something, hope, and feeling like you can redeem everything because the wind spoke to you, or it just felt or touched your heart a little bit. So next is hyperbole. It exaggerates the meaning of a sentence. So I am so thirsty that I could drink an ocean. In this sentence, you are pertaining to your tiredness, exaggerated tiredness that you can and thirsty that you can quench your thirst by drinking a whole entire ocean. So anyone can please read the symbols. Okay, kindly read Miss Julian.
Symbols. It is the use of symbols to convey ideas. A symbol represents various ideas or things at one time, like darkness or color. Black may symbolize death, uncertainty, failure, or an end. A white rose may mean purity, freshness, new beginning, or death. Example, the cold wind blew my heart aches away. The cold wind can mean inspiring words, new ideas, or new hope. The warm sunshine filled my emptiness with joy. The warm sunshine can mean a person whom the author loves or an event that made him be filled with joy.
Yes, thank you, Miss Julian. Symbols uses it to convey ideas or represent something or symbolize something. So the humans like to symbolize everything because we don't want to reveal everything. That is why we use this alongside with the poetry. Okay, and here we have an example of the cold wind blew my heartache away. So if you are feeling tired and everything, but the cold wind relaxes you, it can always be first is a new hope. It can be a new hope or inspiring words or someone speak to you like a cold wind. That is why you felt inspired. The next is warm sunshine. Filled my emptiness with joy. The warm sunshine here is can be in other words, it is just like warm, the sunshine, the brightest, the sun that will light up your world in the full of cruelty. So you will be um symbolize it to someone that you love or someone the author loves. You are the warm you are my warm sunshine. And that is very tickling words that means you are his or her light of the world. Yan, nakakakilig naman. So next is elements of poetry as a whole. So we have here the structures. Poems are written in lines that comprise a stanza. Thus, each type of poem differs because of its structure. To identify a poem structure, it is to count the lines of each stanza. So here, the poem is not always written in unified. It is an art, so we have here a different what do you call that, styles to write a poem. We have here a couplet, 2 verses, tercet, 3, 4 is quatrain, and 5 is cinquain. It can also be a sonnet with 14 lines or even a haiku that has 5, 7, 5 syllables pattern. And some of the poets make the last word sounds like the last word of the second line or line next to it. And also, did you know that the words, the couplet, tercet, quatrain, cinquain are originated in the Spanish, which is the numbers of the lines, or it represents a number. So did you follow? Are you following our discussion? Is everything all right to you?
Yes, ma'am. All is clear po.
It's always clear. Yes, thank you. So if everything is clear right now, let's proceed to our activity. What is it? What kind of activity? Okay, let's find. We have here an activity that let's find. So we read the poem entitled Moonset at Central Park Station of St. Paul Subterranean River National Park by John Iramil E. Piedoro. So are you all Can you all see this? Or think you can zoom it
I
out to
think
your
you,
phone?
I think we should zoom it more po.
More okay. So I think I will deliver it to you.
Okay, ma'am. Noted po.
I
No worries.
will read it to you. Okay. The moon set at Central Park Station of St. Paul Subterranean River National Park was written by John Iremel E. Teodoro. So I will read it now. This morning, after the faint scent of sea grasses awakened me, I followed the setting moon in the reef flats in front of my bamboo cottage. I nearly stepped on the parrotfish that was caught by the low tide. It was as big as my slipper. I picked its slimy body and returned it to the sea. In its excitement, it forgot to thank me. It didn't even bother to look back. It swam quickly away from me. It dived towards the direction of the horizon, where the moon was hiding. Perhaps in my next visit, that parrotfish will surprise me with a greeting. It shall brag to me about its skills painted by the setting moon. So we have here a series of guided questions for you to understand what is the poem about. So do you want me to read it again or you are following it?
I am following, ma'am.
You are following. Okay. So the first question is, what type of poem is it? Is it free verse or it has measure? Yes, Miss Innocentia, you are recognized.
Moonset at Central Park Station of St. Paul Subterranean River National Park, written by John Iramil E. Teodoro, is a free verse poem that talks about. Can I discuss it content or what
Okay,
did
okay,
I
yes,
feel
yes, you
upon
can.
reading? Okay, thank you po.
Yes.
Upon reading the poem, I see it as about, the incompatibility of ordinary human world within the world of nature. Gratitude is a human emotion, but natural objects are indifferent to kindness shown them and apart from human values. And that parrotfish uh, swims away without thanking the speaker for its salvation, and its future encounter will only brag about itself. It's like the interaction of human between the nature and the feeling that the theme of separateness induces its wistful longing.
Oh, I want to applaud to your answer. And yes, thank you very much, Miss Kim, for your answer. That type of poem is a free verse, and she discussed some things about the poem that it is from the experience of the world, from the gratitude or the indulgence to the problem, and everything. And next, thank you very much for that. That is very wonderful. So next is the second question is, what did you notice to the poem? What did you notice to the poem? Okay, Miss Julian, you are recognized.
Upon listening to your delivery, ma'am, of the poem, I've noticed that it has no rhythm, ma'am. But actually, it utilizes alliteration, assonance, repetition, and at the same time, symbolism, ma'am.
Symbolism. Okay, thank you very much. That is true. It is a free verse form, so it doesn't have a beat or a meter. It doesn't have any measurement at all. So next is, what are the elements presented in the poem? What are the elements presented in the poem? Okay, Miss Kim, you are recognized.
The three that I've noticed in the elements presented in the poem of Theodoros' literary work are rhyme, uh, rhyme, literary devices or literary devices, and symbolism.
Oh, thank you. There are a lot of symbols in here. Let's just see. And we will know what are the symbols used in the poem in number 4. Okay, what are the symbols used in the poem? Okay, thank you, Miss Julian. You are recognized. In number
Ma'am,
4,
I am
what are the
sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, is it what number are we po?
number 4? What are the symbols used in the poem?
Actually, ma'am, upon analyzing the literary piece, ma'am, I noticed that the symbols in the poem are moon, ma'am. Which it symbolizes, it represents the dreams that should be fulfilled. And at the same time, ma'am, fulfilled dreams ends inspiration, ma'am, rather. And the horizon, it serves or it signifies a place, ma'am, to find or to keep your dreams. A place which promises good fortune or good life. And also, last but not the least, ma'am, it's the parrotfish. Parrotfish, which signifies something or someone who is passive.
Yes, very good. So first one is the moon. Moon means problem because moon makes us sad every night. If you see the moon in the darkness, it makes you like it reminds you of loneliness. And next is the horizon. There you want to go to the horizon to reach that horizon. It is actually infinity horizon. There are infinity horizon, and that means that the horizon is have our dreams as like infinity as it is because our dreams is unlimited. We are not um, stabling in just one dream. We have multiple dreams. And parrotfish becomes the one who is passive because it doesn't even look back to the one who saved it, but instead it goes beyond to the horizon and strive its dream to the moon. So next is the last. What is the topic of the poem? Okay, Miss Haro, you are recognized.
I think, ma'am, the poem signifies everyone's life and how we do not have to indulge in other individuals' problems.
Yes. It actually um, fits our shoes because there are a lot of people who are being a chismosa or chismosa to our problems, and but the person does not did it. They just let that fish go and okay, you have your own problems, then go. That sometimes I will understand you and you will understand me. So this poem is all about the problems of an individual and the one who will be kind to each other, that even though you are not greeting everyone or you forgot to greet someone, there are a lot of people that will at the end of the day will understand your shortcomings. And that's all for our activity. We found out so many things. And now we will proceed to our next topic, which is the prose. So what is prose? Kindly read someone. Okay. Yes, you are recognized, Miss Jillian.
Prose. What is prose? Prose is a literary device referring to writing that is structured in a grammatical way, with words and phrases that build sentences and paragraphs.
Thank you so much for reading it. Yes, a prose is narrative with a structure in a grammatical way, and with words and phrases that build sentences and paragraphs. So let's dug deeper to the prose. So the first type of prose is fiction. Are you familiar with fiction?
Yes po, ma'am. Familiar.
Yes po.
Yes. Thank you for your answers. That the fiction is a story of make-believe of the author or based from the imaginary or imagination rather of the author. So it has various subgenres like mystery, fantasy, suspense, historical fiction, science fiction, realistic fiction, and folklore myths, fables, and legends. Example of fictional prose is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So why do you think that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a fiction? Yes, Miss Julian.
Because the dwarves
Yes.
is something supernatural. It is for me, ma'am, based on my experience, I don't have any um I don't experience to see dwarves in person. At the same time, being poisoned by a stepmother is too somehow too impossible. I mean, the poison that is contained by inside the apple, it's too impossible. So generally, the Snow White is fictitious or based only on others' imagination.
Okay, thank you. That is true that the that Snow White has dwarves and you don't see every day a dwarf. Not unless if they're you will encounter something that is and it is a real superstitious because it is so unique. And also as you said, as Julian said, that it is too much impossible if your stepmother will poison you just because of a crown. Maybe in the royalties will do this, but in the real life it won't happen. Who will the one will who will poison you with an apple? Because an apple every day takes the doctor away and it is a healthy food. And next is okay. The if fiction has sub genres and also it has setting that includes the time or period and place where the event happened. So fiction doesn't just have like it's just a story, fictitious and everything, but it's also have a setting because a story wouldn't be great if there is nothing or no place to take to it. I'm sorry. The story will not happen if there is no place at all or even a time or a period. Next is the characters are the persons, animals, and inanimate objects. So the story wouldn't be alive without these characters or even person, the animals, and even the dwarfs, the superstitious characters. It makes the story alive. And next is conflict. It creates tension in the story and involves the struggle of between two opposing. We have here a short story titled A Legend of Lake Cebu. So kindly someone read the story. So Miss Apple, kindly read the story.
Yes, ma'am. The legend of the Lake Cebu, a Tiboli folktale. Once there was a beautiful yet mysterious princess who came to the land of the Tibolis. She was loved by the locals. However, she met a mythical frog whom she angered. To avenge himself, the frog opened a big lotus flower that gushed water and flooded the entire land. The prince's brother saw this from the heaven. He threw leaves and python that became landmass so that his sister can pass through. From the day on, the village was covered with water. The 11 islet became the home of the locals.
Thank you so much, Miss Apple. So I will flash to you the things that you should note. So here is it. I will be giving you 5 minutes. Is it okay for you? it's 5 minutes.
Okay po, ma'am.
I will
Yes,
be
ma'am.
giving you 5 minutes to answer this. So 5 minutes. So your timer starts now. If you are already finished, please show me your thumbs up emoji. Okay, Miss Apple is already done. Miss Jeline is already done. We have 2 minutes. We have Kim. She's already done. And Miss Mary. So you are all done answering the question. Let me just exit this timer. Okay. Now let's proceed to the discussion of the answers. So the first question here is, where can Lake Cebu be found? Someone? Okay, we have here hands. So first is Miss Apple. Where can Lake Cebu be found?
The Lake Cebu can be found in the land of the Tibols.
Yes, according to our story, Lake Cebu can be found in the land of the Tibolis. And next is, very good. Next, what is another name for Lake Cebu? Okay, Miss Mirik, you are recognized.
Based on the story, ma'am, based on what I have observed in the story, ma'am, it is 11 islets po. Am I right?
Yes, you are correct. That's very good. 11 islet. It actually not very recognizable to the story because it just came to the latter part. But 11 islet is also known for the Lake Cebu because it was formed by the throwing of the brothers princess of Python. And it can be seen today, but it is not just that big of a lake. It is a little bit became small because of the tail. So next is, who once lived on the land of the Tibulians? Yes, Miss Kim, you are recognized.
The beautiful and mysterious princess lived on the land of the Tibolis.
Okay, very good. The beautiful princess and the mysterious princess once lived to the Cebu, and she is the character of the story. Next is, what problem did the princess had during her stay in the place? Okay, Miss Mary, you are recognized.
I think, ma'am, the problem here is when the princess met the frog whom she angered.
Yes, very good. It is where the problem has arrived. It is where the magical frog, the princess angered it. And what did happen to the frog? What did the frog do to avenge himself? Yes, Miss Apple, you are recognized.
The frog opened a big lotus flower that flooded the entire land.
Yes, that is the big problem. It flooded the entire land. So next is, who helped the princess? How was she able to, or he able to help her? Yes, Miss Julian, you are recognized.
The one who helped the princess, ma'am, is his brother in the heavens, help, ma'am. And then he threw leaves and pythons that became the landmass po.
Very good. With the help of the brother of the princess, he threw the big pythons and leaves. That is why it became the land, and the flood becomes less. And lastly, how did the princess survive the flood made by the angry mythical frog? Yes, Miss Harrow, you are recognized.
When the leaves and pythons that became the land po that helps the princess to pass through the flood.
Yes, very good. That's a nice answer. You are reading the story very, very detailed. That is why, because the python and the leaves become the landmass, the princess were able to pass through the flood and escape to the frog. You are all very good. Please give yourselves a round of applause. A virtual applause. Yes. Very good, everyone. Very good. And it's the end of our discussion break. Now let's go to our last. Last is next to the line is nonfiction. So everyone also know nonfiction. That nonfiction is a literary genre that actually happens in the real life, and it is a nonfiction. The nonfiction have characters or settings also like the fiction, and mostly of it is hango or from the real life situation. So we have here an example: the cardinal sins, the general cross, the martyr's testimony, and the other affirmations. So it is an essay, a book written by Cardinal Sin. And also it is a collection of essays from Emilio Aguinaldo's Struggle with History, Ninoy Aquino's Trial, and many more. Next is drama. So drama, we can actually see it is in the theater. It has dialogues and words that will be spoken, and it usually have makeups, musics, and also the costumes. They portray a certain character, but in the drama, it is all the scripts are always written in the real life or in a narrative style. So we have here a Casablanca, Bogart Bregman classic from 1942. It is a drama script from the novel Casablanca. So kindly read the excerpt. Kim, can you read the excerpt?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Casablanca. Ilsa, and I said I would never leave you. Rick, and you never will. But I've got a job to do too. Where I'm going, you can follow. What I've got to do, you can't be any part of. Ilsa, I'm no good at being noble, but it doesn't take much to see that the problems of three little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. Someday, you'll understand that. Now. Ilsa's eyes well up with tears. Rick puts his hand to her chin and raises her face to meet his own. Here's looking at you, kid.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Kim, for giving emotion to the script. Casablanca is a drama that portrays or full of romance and a war, because the boy Rick is going to the war and Ilsa will be so sad about it. And I know the ending that Rick died here. So next is, we have a discussion break. So everything is clear. We are now jumping to
Yes,
another
ma'am.
topic.
Here po.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you very much. Everything follows. So we have here a discussion break to pump you all up. So the discussion break is we have here is guess the two pictures to combine a word. So I will flash different pictures and you will guess if what word is it. So the first picture is, okay, Miss Jeline, you are recognized.
Upon combining the two, ma'am, I think it is chiclet.
Yes, it is chiclet, because as you can see, this is a chick and this one is a fire. That means a lit. And next is picture. Okay, Miss Haro, you are recognized. Yes, Miss Haro, you are recognized. What is it? What is the two pictures?
Upon combining the two pictures po, ma'am, I think it is hyper poetry.
Yes, very good. It is hyper poetry because the kid is very hyper here, and we have here a typewriter with a poem, and it is a hyper poetry. And the last is, what do you think is it? Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped. Okay, it's kind of logging. Okay, so Miss Jeline, yes, you are recognized.
I think, ma'am, upon combining the two pictures, it will create a flash fiction.
Yes, very good. It's a flash fiction because we have here a picture of lightning, a flash of lightning, and this man here is a fictional character who will, because there is no man that will go to inside the forest that will give you a sword, a magical and mysterious sword. So we have the vocabulary words that you answered is you can be seen in the new literature. Here, these new genres include mobile textula, hyper poetry, chick lit, and that emerges from 1990s up to the present. So the first one is hyper poetry. Hyper poetry is a poetry uploaded in the internet. It is usually with designed and posted to the social media. It is hyper because it was full of designs and it is more on emphasizing a thing. We have here a poem. Pain is earthly and temporal. Sacrifice is surely irrational. Hope is hazily conventional. Existence is hazily corporeal. Here, the emphasized word is pain because pain is the earthly and temporal or something that we all experience and it actually ouch us, it hurts us. Yes. Next is mobile textula. So from the word itself, mobile textula, textula is a blended word of English and Filipino. That means a text in text, a poem in a text, in a form of a text or text message. It is short poetry in a form of tanaga that is sent through SMS on a mobile phone. It consists of 4 lines with 7 syllables using slash to end a line and to end the stanza. It is always used to inspire other people or your loved ones. You usually send it. It is like the quotation that you avail in the promo in the early 2010 that you always receive quotation from an advertisement. And we have here Mamayat balisa, gobyerno aligaga, salute na karamdaman hindi nalulunasan from Mariel Kate. It is from the FNHS senior high school. It shows here that she was texting or opening the eyes of everyone about the politics on the society. Next is flash fiction. So flash fiction, from the word itself, flash, it is short and quick. So flash fiction is a 100 to 1,000 words or less. It is a genre of fiction. The always genre of fiction here is that we use is youth or lost youth or about the youth or the teens, the struggles of a teen. An example of flash fiction is from Raniel Cubado of FNHS 2019 to 2020 entitled I Am a Book with Hidden Chapters. So I will read it aloud. They have known him as a weakling and a loser. He never said a word or done a thing defend himself or speak what was on his mind. Stupid, unworthy, a menace, has no future. Those were his father's words. He just shrugged his shoulders and what he thought was the best to prove them wrong. 10 years have passed and here I am, waiting for my son's return from Manila. There he is, accomplished, full-fledged doctor and the hero of the COVID-19 pandemic. I Am a Book with Hidden Chapters by Raniel Cunado. As you can see here, he is reminiscing about his youth or his lost youth that he encountered not so supportive family members, but when he became a father, he not did it to his son, but instead of being rude, he became a supportive father, and now his son is a full-fledged doctor and a hero. And it was so emotional. Next is the last, if I'm not mistaken, is Chiclet. Chiclet, on the other hand, is a heroine-centered fiction narrative that usually focuses on the trials of the protagonist. And from the word itself, chicklit, it is for the women. So chicklit is a genre of fiction which addresses issues of modern womanhood, often humorously and lightheartedly. It is actually like a comedy, but the protagonist in here is a woman. It is actually promoted in the 1990s novels that it shows women or women empowerment. So I have here a little bit excerpt from a chick clip from Wattpad. It was taken from Wattpad, a mobile applications collections of the book. So I will read it. The title of it is An Extraordinary Love Story, or an excerpt by Mariel Kate Q. Liwag. It was a wonderful day because it is our 4th wedding anniversary. We took a day off to celebrate it. I woke up at 2:30 in the morning to cook and to prepare a little surprise. He usually surprises me, but this time I wanted him to start and enjoy the day differently. When I was done cooking, I cleaned our living room. I set a table for two with wine at the center and partially covered the floor with petals. When I set it all up, I texted him, Han, let us go downstairs. Don't forget to wear white. I love it when you wear white, I said with a smile. Okay, I'll be there a minute, he texted back. I put down the mobile phone and waited for him. I turned on the CD player with our favorite song, I'll Be by Edwin McCain. I was wearing a white jumper suit, and as the song started to play, a handsome man in white shirt and pants walked down the stairs. Happy 4th anniversary, Han, I said as I came close to him and hugged him tight. Han, you surprised me, and I love you, he said, smiling at me. So this is the usual story that you can find, the scenery that you can find in Chiclet. As you can see, a woman preparing for his husband. That's it. And next is vlog. I know this is the last one. So vlog is a regularly updated webpage or website. And here is a sample of blog uploaded on March 15th. And a blog is frequently updated online personal or journal diary. It also have in like in the Facebook or the blog website itself, it has designs. So the blog in here is from words to action. It is about the more on words, a person that who is more on words than action. It should not be done by words but with action. And that is all. Do you follow, or I am so fast? Are you okay there, guys?
Yes, ma'am, we can still follow.
Okay. So if you are all follow, may I now know what did you learn, or what are your takeaways here by seeing these pictures? So yes, Miss Kim, what are your takeaways?
I've learned that there is traditional literature and there is the newly emerged literature due to the advancement and advancement of the technology. And of course, in new genres of literature, we can, as students, we can share, write our own poem based on our emotions and make others see our poem online. So it was convenient. It is very convenient for us, especially writers, and of course for the readers that are interested to read our literary pieces.
Yes, thank you very much, Miss Kim. That is a very nice takeaway, and I am really glad that you learned from me. Yes, that is correct. That here in the other side of the picture, we have the traditional and the new or modern literature, wherein it emerges through time because of our technologies and advancement. And last is and that is all, class. I will just flash this that we have a post test in the next lesson. It will be posted in the Google Classroom also. And as you can see, wait, laptop is lagging. I am sorry. Okay, so for the group activity, okay, oh no, saan? Ang kulit niya. Yan, so we have here the activity I can write. You will group yourself into 3, then You will first write an original poem and upload it in the internet using Facebook, and you will send a screenshot to me. And second, send your teacher a mobile text to through SMS. And third is write a flash fiction using 150 words. So the first group is consists of Miss Ibanez and Miss Inocencio. The second group is consists of Miss Mary Caro and Miss Applejoy Mojica, and the next group is consists of Miss Bernadine and Miss Santos. And that's a wrap, teacher wraplets. That's all. Let's go and have a great afternoon. And thank you for listening.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am. Bye-bye
Thank you.
po.
Goodbye.
Ma'am, thank you so much, ma'am. Goodbye
Thank you
po.
po,
God
ma'am.
bless you
Bye
po.
Thank you so much.